more single target focused.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, go kill the Shyvana and go from there.
And the fact that there's Twisted Fate, who's running Flash and Ghost, he's going the Faker route here.
Yep.
Which is really good. You'll be more liberal with your Ghost than you will your Flash, and chase people down and get multiple cards on them, stun them twice. I think in the rotation, you can actually probably get 3 off of it.
Yeah, it just depends how long the fight is.
Yeah.
Also worth pointing out, by the way, with the TS we've been seeing more recently. I went and checked Faker's Runes and Masteries and stuff with his TF. Often runs move speed quints. Also 9 utility for lower summoner spell cooldowns.
Whew.
All right, Erenko spots the invade, gets away.
Saw that hook go by him, and he's like, yeah, no, I don't want to be here. It's not a good
Oh,
spot.
NATO. Oh my gosh, he face checked into that jungle just then. Flashes still goes down. No summoner spells even required for that one.
They destroyed him. So would you say they tore NATO?
Yeah, they tore him up. That's good.
I had to give you one.
That was great.
I had to give one back to you.
I'm not sad that you did that. Well, there's a pink ward in the jungle. Sarasun does see that Thresh and Lee Sin are still around there, so they know about this. There's no way you dive this turret, so...
So the fact that the trinkets don't come up until 2 minutes means you have to face check everything, and they have gotten Fog of War control now.
They did not have to.
They've gotten red buff control.
They're trying to
They
fight
have
this.
a pink ward down. NATO, he blew his flash, and he's going all the way around this time. But now they have wards set up, so they will see this, and they are aware that all of Team Green Forest, TGF, are down on that bottom side. And that is a bush that you typically don't check.
They might on their way in. Dash control spotted. And wow, this is great.
No, the possibility is that they are all still in there.
Yeah, of course it is.
They will most likely probably throw a skill shot in there or something, and okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, they spot the
That
ward.
was bold.
Now the thing is, now they're going to feel like they're safe, but NDG still wants to fight this.
Yeah.
They're going to go again.
They're going to time it. And everybody's there, though, except for there's one coming back. They didn't see the ball.
There's the ward down. Smites up by Erenko. The hook on the DAC control. This could be an interesting fight there. Infinity has forced away. DAC control still in the front lines, dropping down to 100 HP. And now the Sun and RF Legendary Trundle forced back as well on this one.
Oh.
Red card hits everybody. Q nearly hits the Kazakhs. Now Don forced to run away, but all said and done, it's still the red buff going to Team Green Forest.
So we're having a little different game here. Instead of the 4-man in both the side lanes,
It's 5-man.
it's 5-man in the jungle.
That was all kinds of interesting. Unfortunately, not enough CC really landed there. And no one got any kills, but we're going to have standard lane setups there. Both top laners TPing to this top lane. And both guys can have a lot of potions thanks to their late recalls and showing up with Thorn's Blade and 4 pots each.
So no cash in just yet on the first blood, but that means that because they all received that experience, they're going to get the level 2 advantage first in the lane with less creeps.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what they're doing here, is they're pushing it, making it so that they'll zone them out with the level 2 advantage.
Right, well, there's level 2. They're going to push in. K1 going to look for a hook. Oh,
he walks right into it.
Into Don. Nice play right there. Sarasun takes a chomper to the face. Stun goes back on a pancakes, though. Good damage coming through. You're going to hit Thresh right there, who started all consumables, by the way. So no more sustain left for Thresh.
He's got nothing. He's naked in his inventory.
It's okay. He's got a little bit of bonus gold from that assist. See if that pans out well for him. K1 looking for another hook to go for. Level 2 has been hit by TGF's bottom lane, though.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Sarasun just hit it there. Top lane, though, nothing too interesting going on. And we see Infinity Des level down in his jungle because he hasn't done his red just yet. And Erenko got his own.
He just walked by a ward while he went through there as well. So Notice Gaming knows Kazakhs is on bottom side. This is something they can play around. K1's going to refresh the ward at Tribrush. Smart choice.
It's scary when there's a Kazakhs on that side of the map. You have no idea when he's coming out, especially if you don't have a ward. Gives you absolutely no idea.
Absolutely. A trinket used earlier by NDG to spot their own jungle. Red buff was not stolen. That was actually the mid laner Stefano who put that one down. So a little bit of teamwork right there. Again, the engage, though. Don getting rooted up. Good damage there, but back on a K1.
Oh, B-Pancakes
not good
position.
for Thresh. They're trying to get away from this one, though. But Jinx forced to flash away. Gets the W landed onto him.
The Zenith Blade is almost up.
Flash Q, auto attack. Don goes in. Kill picked up. Ooh, that E landed. He was dead.
So no buffs actually change hands there, which is important. It took me a second. I was like, nope, there was no jungler there for Infinity Des. No Dice Gaming didn't have anything to do with that. The gold is even across the board, but at the same time, they ended up killing the AD carry. So he's not farming right now.
Nope.
Illusion isn't either. Don went back.
That's fine, though, because he got to cash in for a Vamp Scepter and win more consumables. Pancake did not have enough money, even with the first Blood Assist, and just got a longsword and boots here. So no sustain is going to be rough.
Infinity Death used a lot of his time just sitting off on the side there waiting for a gank, but they weren't going to be able to get Nato. He's playing too safe, too far back. Both of his summoners are down. He has no reason to push up against Orianna with both of hers available.
Yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a safer lane on this one. I do have to question the fact that NDG even went for that fight there. They knew Kha'Zix was bottom side jungle. They knew it. They saw him go to Wraith. You can assume he goes double golems afterwards. And they still went for the engage. I'm very surprised with that.
Yeah, and now RF Legendary, he's actually going to lose this trade. If he uses the bush to just get out of there. He's going to win it now because the Flame Breath is off.
Yeah.
It's a tiny window where Shyvana will just destroy you.
Playing around the cooldowns pretty nicely, and of course with Trundle's innate sustain, he's doing pretty well.
Oh.
Got some potions still. Hook's going to land the Pharaoh stun. They're going to try for it. Gets the Flay back there. Good damage, and Leona, nice move there. Jumps back in towards the Thresh, try to stay alive a little bit longer. 200 health there. One more attack will do it, and it's the kill picked up for Jinx.
Sarah holds on to his exhaust there. And now RF Legendary, once again, bullying Dat Control between the cooldowns. He will have the innate sustain, like you said. And now bottom lane, the gank was necessary to tilt the balance back in NDG's favor in the bottom lane. They now have a gold advantage, and they're going straight for this turret with the attack speed of Jinx and the extra attack speed bonus from the passive release Sin.
Yeah, they're getting some pretty serious damage in this one. Looks like
level 6.
Ooh, can he turn this one around? They're staying. There's the ulti. They're going for the battle. Who's going to land what? Great hook lands. And here comes the TP in from the top laner, though. It's going to be Dat Control showing up first. Pancakes goes down. Shyvana not required. Lee Sin is around. RF Legendary does not even bother to teleport here. He doesn't even want to help. Infinity Death gets a stun into his backside. There's Orianna Ball. He's going to stay safe with the Lantern, but another kill picked up for Team Green Forest.
So in the overall, though, they go even in kills. But now the gold is actually going to be a little bit in their favor because Dat Control is going to lose a lot of CS in the top lane. RF Legendary will most likely push as fast as he can to the turret and deny some CS.
Also keep in mind, it's a 5-minute window now on the teleport. So up until about 11:30 into the game, you're not going to have a TP up for Shyvana, but something that NDG could play around.
Yeah, first Dragon is usually around somewhere like 9 minutes, 10 minutes, averaging in these games. Maybe a little bit earlier, too, considering that the previous games were all 4-0 pushes. But yeah, the teleport advantage is something you have to pay attention to. And he used it to a ward. He didn't use it to a turret, so he didn't get rewarded for using it.
We'll see. I mean, with the champion...
he didn't even get an assist for it either.
Yeah, no, he shooed up entirely late, and unfortunately didn't do anything for him. I think it was the right choice, but ultimately didn't really matter here. Nado's still trying to push up the mid lane, missing a couple CS. He is down in this lane ever so slightly. The early needlessly large rod by Stefano is interesting, actually. He's got a whole lot of AP, really good pushing power, not much mana, so he will have to secure his blue buff.
I think he's more worried about actually chunking down NATO. And what this actually says to me is that they want to fight Dragon ASAP. Because you now have this big chunk of AP that's going to make your Wombo combo huge. Speaking of being huge...
Yeah, RF Legendary pushing Dat Control around. Cutlass done versus just the Vamps after an extra Doran's Blade. So, once again, you're seeing item differences mean just a little bit here. That you're going to get a ward down and get back to his lane in a little bit. He's actually down in XP slightly.
Yeah. The fact that he was by a wave, Dat Control was, when he came down bottom. I think he probably in proximity. Yeah, when they were clearing it down bottom. So they're pretty even across the board. He does have an item advantage for RF Legendary. Yeah. With the Bilgewater Cutlass, which is giving him that edge he needs in the lane to continue bullying. But now, look at that. RF Legendary is just getting poked right now. He's losing the trades, and we also have Erenko in that top lane now.
Ooh, another attempt on the bottom, and the Saracen forced to run all the way around the Chompers. Takes a bit of damage for that one. Otherwise going to be okay. Lee Sin also slinking around, but the dive top, Erenko goes for it. Half HP, a lot of damage on the Trundle, forced to flash away from this one. So it's a lost flash and a lot of gold lost under the turret, but same thing for NDG down here.
Well, here's the big thing, is they're also right by Dragon, and they know that Kha'Zix is in the top lane, and the TP is down. It would be a 4-on-3, 5-on-3 if RF Legendary teleports in. He's not going to. He's going to go save the top turret.
All right, and even with that, he'll have close to the same teleport timer as the Shyvana. He'll be about a minute off because he TP'd to a turret there. So there we go. Dragon picked up. NDG playing that one very well. TFLD comes in, so this is not going to be good. No flash on Trundle means he will be going down. Dat Control took aggro, and they get that.
That's a lot of emphasis on RF Legendary. Ultimate coming up top. It's very low on Kha'Zix Erenko.
Oh! That was nice.
Nailed it!
Yep. That was... Hey, the assist even went over to Trundle and to Lee Sin. Lee Sin shielded to Jinx to get an assist marker.
Wow.
Yep. And Trundle dealt damage recently enough that he got one
That's true.
on his own.
They end up getting a turret for themselves because there's so much emphasis on shutting down RF Legendary in the top lane that they've neglected the other lanes. Nado went up to the top lane and didn't really get anything for it. He got the help on the turret and assist, but man,
Yeah.
they get a lot more for NDG in that exchange.
That was all kinds of awesome. So, No Dice Gaming now, 1,000 gold ahead. There's good stuff with these guys. The Dragon, definitely worthwhile.
Here's the thing is that NDG already are displaying that they have better cost-benefit analysis of map rotations.
True.
They're like, we're going to go bottom. Oh, Kha'Zix showed top.
That's fine.
Get turret, get dragon. Oh, look at that. TF teleport top. Let's go ahead and get mid turret now. They also got a kill in those 2 assists you were talking about. But if you're Team Green Force, you're sitting there going, all right, let's gank RF Legendary. Let's try to shut him down and get top turret.
Yeah.
Not sure how well that's working for him right now.
And a lot of that snowballs off the fact that the mid lane already won. The fact that Stefano was able to push in Twisted Fate so easily and keep that wave in good
They also got
good
his
swords.
turret, too.
Huh?
They also got his turret.
Well, yeah, I mean afterwards, but
well,
like a
I'm
lot
saying-
of predicated on the fact that Orianna was already winning 1v1.
Yes.
Right?
And NATO's going to be in an even worse position now, because once you get Twisted Fate's tier 1 turret, it puts a lot of pressure on him. And now you can keep better tabs on him and his global.
Exactly. There's a lot of room for Ori to push him in, so that is going to be a bit of a risk if they can make these happen once more. 3/4 of the way back on TF ulti. See if he can do much with his third cooldown. His third ultimate. He sent one bottom, sent one top. He's been ganking a lot. He's gotten assists each time, but it's the reactions by NDG that have worked out pretty well for these guys.
Get a pink ward for themselves. It's actually a ping to where Arenko was. Really?
Careful, there's bros mid.
Yeah. There's 3-on-2 in the mid lane here. We do see Thresh off on the side. K1's setting something up.
Yeah, so they've got some wards over the top side. No, they're not really in towards the blue buff yet. They're on like the retreat path by blue buff. Hook. Ooh, that was
Almost
nearly a
clipped
kill.
his wings.
That would have been a kill because they would have gone into that. I think. 3-3.
Against Kha'Zix, it's always kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, you can flay the leap. Like he have to at least burn ulti, I guess. He'd burn ulti and flash to get out.
yeah.
Maybe just ulti. Either way. Back to a 400 gold lead. So with minions getting picked up, it's brought in the gold a little bit closer here. NDG doing what they can to hold the rest of their game. But look at this. TP, the flash stun comes in, and there's Shyvana. K1, is he going to get away from this one? Looks like
Ooh,
not
good ball.
even. It's a good shockwave to get a couple, but it's still the kill picked up. Another gold card lands. Lee Sin forced to run away.
There's a good positioning there. He threw the shield onto K1 and then used command attack to give it a little extra oomph and distance. He ended up getting 3 in there, but there's no follow-up. Nobody even close to around. Arc Legendary still in the top lane, so it's a 2-on-4 in the mid.
And it's a good pick. The damage coming down to the turret, but teleport in from Trundle. They want to stop this one. Arenko forced to get away a little bit from this one, but still, 4v5. Not a great fight.
And now their teleports, both on cooldown. Dragon not even close to being up at this point. The turret is conceded in the bottom lane, and now Team Green Forest have a 500 gold lead.
Yeah, so they burned their teleport 5-minute cooldown for a kill. For the gold lead that stood right there. They did not get a turret back for it. They did also trade a lower cooldown TP on the other side of this one. So we'll see now with about a minute and a half teleport window if NDG does anything with that one. Blue buff actually being stolen here, but he's going to get spotted out. How good is Smite going to be? Looks like the kick
kicks him
away. Ooh, outsmited. Arenko gets it. Now it's a TF ulti as well. Infinity House gets stunned up. The jump in forward. The wild cards are going to land. They're going to find one. They're going to find two. Big fight for Team Green Forest.
And they didn't see that coming at all for NDG. Team Green Forest came up big there. They are now 2k gold in the lead, and their early decision-making is now being dictated by the fact that, hey, look at that. We have a Twisted Fate ultimate. Let's actually get some picks. Their objective game isn't amazing, but the fact that NDG was getting overly confident in trying to steal buffs without ward coverage.
True.
Without proper ward coverage of the area and proper analysis of the situation, that you're against a Twisted Fate.
And it worked out well for Green Forest. So Nader, despite giving up first blood, despite losing his lane early on, he's made up for that. 5 of the 6 kills on his team he's had a hand in. That's pretty impressive for himself.
And Arenko's been involved in all of them.
Yeah.
His jungler, despite getting a rocket to the face, which is really, really great to watch,
Yeah.
has been part of everything.
It's It's been awesome for these guys. I gotta say, the first pick Kha'Zix did pay out in this case. He's done a
Yeah, that's
great
the emphasis on it.
Yep.
Is they knew that this is a champion that Renko is going to deliver with. So they immediately put him on it.
He even rushed a Brutalizer at a second item, so he's really going damage focus. Wants to snowball the lead he's gotten so far. It's worked out. The picks have been good. DAC Control back in a side lane push, but he's almost 11 to RF Legendary's 9. He's like 2 minions away from this one. So once again, we're seeing the top lane winning pretty heavily.
And the teleport for RF Legendary is going to be up a little bit sooner. You'll be able to apply pressure on the map. But now that they have tabs on all the members of NDG and the fact that Dragon is up, they have to walk down there.
Uh-oh, Nado getting kicked to the team, though. Great solar flare to back it up, and here comes the dive on in. Dawn picks up 1. Explosions come out. Looks like a 2-for-1 so far. Pancakes trying to run away, gets flashed over, making that a 3-for-1. And now Infinity not in exactly the best spot. Gonna ward hop away. Here comes Kha'Zix off on one side. Q's gonna miss. I think he's gonna be all right.
And during all of that, because the teleports weren't up, RF Legendary got pushed out of lane by DAC Control, and now he has a lot of free turret damage. The Dragon is going to go over to Team Green Forest. And
they're just out fighting.
You know, Stefano didn't even get his ultimate off in that entire clump. He was only able to use the heal, and the engage was just really spot on there for Team Green Forest in the collapse. But basically what ended up happening was Infinity did the engage for them there.
Yeah. They thought it was a pick, but the fact that Leona turned it around so fast.
Yeah, they were all clumped up, and it was really good crowd control. Oh, there he goes, ulti to the top.
Trying again, RF Legendary now trying to get back towards his base by the red buff. Looks like he's going to be safe. Flash for TF ulti.
Yeah, and for Shyvana ulti as well. We're going to have to see that they're pinging mid lane, saying that's where you need to go right now, because that's the open part.
TF's making his way down. So pretty hectic game. It's just like things happen out of nowhere every time TF ulti is available. These guys, all of them trying to make individual plays. And it's not like this dedicated sieging where it's like, hey, Emmanuel's building up. It's like, hey, there's a random guy, kill him.
Yeah, and this is the right call. They're going for that top turret, which is the last tier 1 turret that NDG have available to them. Once they get this, they're going to have to ward the jungle a little more. They have tons of warding. Like there's nothing wrong with their warding currently at this point in the game. But the question is, do they make the right decisions? Mid lane, they're most likely going to give it up, but if they can continue to push, or if they can wrestle somebody out of the jungle and kill them, then definitely be worth. It looks like they might be collapsing middle.
Well, let's see. It's TF pushing by himself. The rest of the team going through, but there's already some defensive wards watching them rotate there. So TF going to be safe, backing off. 5 kill lead, 3,500 gold lead. Team Green Forest still the dominant one on the map, and Twisted Fate ulti halfway back. Will they keep playing it passive until they find that next opening?
And you can see Team Green Forest has 4 sweepers already to the 1 of No Dice Gaming. No Dice Gaming, they have ward control advantage, but Team Green Forest, all their sweepers are up too. Like, they haven't swept anything out. They haven't found the ward locations, and they haven't been confident enough to actually use the sweepers.
It's interesting. I actually is very surprised that a team doesn't pick up more sweepers. Like, you normally see 3 by like 8 or 10 minutes. That's like completely standard in competitive play.
And also the fact that it is Elise Sin. He hasn't gone for the Sightstone just yet. He actually is just holding onto the wards in his inventory. So he hasn't
and with
swapped.
Golem.
Yeah.
You normally see Lizard as well, so a very different setup for No Dice Gaming. Very tanky sort of situation for these guys. Mid lane turret does go down. Team Green Force has managed to just push.
They're looking for the sustained fight. They aren't looking to make it so that they just blow somebody up. They're looking for the sustained fight. They're looking for the Orianna ultimate into a dissonance, into Jinx Rocket, and then continue with, like, Jinx with red, continuing to pick people off with Get Excited.
Let's see what's going to play for them.
Nobody on their team is extremely bursty.
Yeah.
They have NDG. Green Forest.
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
Green Forest.
Yeah. Sorry, I misspoke. You're right.
Yeah. NDG, they have a lot of sustained damage. Very high. Oh, there's the flash.
Oh, it's a red card. That was going to be enough for Pancakes to go down. The jump in by Aranko. Yeah, that's enough.
Oof. The ball returned to him.
The protect into Shockwave. Gonna whiff right there. That's not good.
The ball returned to him off of the death of Pancakes.
That is very unfortunate there. Well, bottom lane going to get pushed up. DAC Control still splitting towards the mid lane. Infinity. They got to hold up that lane against him, but DAC Control, he's going to pull aggro actually, just do damage and doesn't even care about the turret. Goes right back on in.
He's very strong. Theme of the day has been Shyvana is just bullying people around and being a very good top lane pick.
It's really happening, yeah.
I remember back in the days when people were like, why are you playing Shyvana top? That's trolling.
Nope.
Not anymore.
Really beefy bruiser guy gets into fights, deals damages. we go. Blue buff grabbed away. Team Green Forest very much in control. His gold lead now about 6,000, so that number keeps going up. And it's interesting, like they're playing the pushes when they appear, but otherwise they're playing around TF ulti a whole lot. It's this weird like sort of scattered aggression that's hard to get a grasp on.
Yeah, and Team Green Forest, like you said, the 6k gold advantage here, and the fact that these teleports honestly have not been used to full effect just yet. They teleport into fights, and it's like, or they teleport to a location to defend it, just to dissuade the enemy. Like Dat Control's teleport uses has been a little bit better. RF Legendary, he gets the lower cooldown on it when he uses his, but he's not abusing that. Because Dat Control is just so much further ahead in lane right now by 2 levels and by 30 CS that if you leave Dat Control alone in the top lane and you TP away, he's going to push a turret. He's got the Blade of the Ruined King. He's got Twin Bite. He's fine. He's going to clear it immediately. So when you teleport out of that top lane, if you're RF Legendary, you end up giving Dat Control complete control of that top lane.
And yeah, or we see what happens when that exists. He teleports in, makes things happen, like keeps shoving up, and creates a lot of pressure by himself. So
speaking of creating pressure by yourself, though, Arenko, 100% kill participation. Still coming up big for his team. And now, once again, teleports both up. Dragon's up in 50 seconds here. And NATO has used his ultimate pretty well this game. The first couple of them were questionable, but ever since he started getting a grasp of it, back and forth there.
Double Ruined King, they're fine.
Ever since he's gotten a grasp of his ultimate, though, and where they need to focus their attention, they've been coming up big.
Absolutely.
The way he's been positioning himself, the picks that he's been able to make, like that last one, even though it was a red card on V-Pancakes, still good enough.
Definitely was. So, got the dives. They're getting the kills. Don randomly split pushed the bottom lane, and no one stopped him. So he took the tier 2 turret down just there. It was a 4-3 turret game. All the abilities are back up, and right now it's Dat Control split pushing top lane. Maybe that'll turn into something.
Yeah, he pushed it far enough up, or RF Legendary pushed it far enough up that Dat Control has to deal with it. RF Legendary is here for the dragon fight already at the start. Doesn't have ultimate, though, for RF Legendary. He's going to have to wait. And if they pick up this dragon, this could be their key and their way to get back into this game. But the TP from RF Legendary, he'd have to get it off with no interruptions to get back to that top lane. Because Dat Control, oh, there he goes. He's behind them, too.
Going to go for the engage. Box comes down. There's the dive in. Jinx pretty low. RF Legendary forced to get away from that one entirely. Dat Control still up in the mix. Jumps into the back line, actually. Now Jinx about to fall. Does get picked up by Kha'Zix. The TP in from NATO. Twisted Fate making that happen. Double kill for Arenko on Kha'Zix. And Team Green Forest, once again, they win the fight.
It's a 2-for-0. Great teleport there by Dat Control into that ward on the back line. They're going straight for Infinity now. They're trying to pick more people off of this map. There's the Shockwave. I was going to say he hadn't used it at all in that last team fight. And there it was. That's the second whiffed Shockwave this game. And there was one time where he had potential to Shockwave, but it didn't work out. And now, all these sweepers that they have, they can sweep the pit multiple times. This is a blind guess by the blind monk.
Well, unfortunately, he's not on the correct side for all this one. TP comes in from Trundle, puts the pillar down, but Lee Sin still not yet around. Goes in to put up a little bit of damage there. RF Legendary gets locked up, tries to get away from this one. Actually, disengages quite nicely. Shockwave would have been nice now, but not available. Dis on the left-hand side doesn't get in time. Blows up Baron. Goes over to Team Green Forest, and now the jump in. Stefano also gonna fall. RF Legendary takes a laner to get out, but now K1 not in the best spot. Nice trophy. Might get the disengage they need. Green Forest again, 2-for-0 plus Baron, pretty good.
RF Legendary was role-playing Trundle there and trolled the Orianna. Stefano went back for the Lantern, and it was already gone.
So only one of them could take it.
Yeah, the flash there, the play that Infinity tried to make, was a good one considering his options. But at the same time, Team Green Forest, they're going to get so much off of this. The Baron, in fact, they have the regen, 24 minutes in, 12k gold advantage. Once again, Shyvana is doing a lot of work, 3-0-4. I'm not even talking about just Dat Control, but Shyvana all day long has been champion to be reckoned with.
Yeah, massive 3-0-4, making great things happen. There we go. Randuin's Omen now grabbed as well. They've got a tanky-ish guy to start the dives if they need to do that even more than before. And now here we go. Baron buff, items grabbed, death cap done, 2.5 item AD carry. Next push gonna start.
Yeah, these AD carries are a little mismatched.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
He's a full Last Whisper head, basically.
Yeah. And he's got a long sword on top of it. Well, he's got a quick
it's longsword versus cloak of agility, yeah. But it's basically he's a Last Whisper ahead. Plus, it's the 13 to 11 in levels, so you've got another 6 AD, 6% attack speed roughly in stats. So
Yeah.
pretty important. Here we go. Another Dragon picked up. Team Green Force making sure they do the standard bookkeeping. Blue buff back up as well. They'll take this one.
And so we talked about the top laner at the start of the game, DAT Control versus RF Legendary, and that really is a big part of this matchup, is how much pressure they're able to get. And DAT Control owning that lane, 3-0-4 against 0-2-2. He shows up to the fight at the right spot for the engagement. And we talked about his Jax, and that he came up really big with a 9-3-2 in the previous round of 20. And now, he's 3-0-4. He's doing a lot of work for his team. And he's still split pushing. He's still carrying the game. He's already in this fight. He knows this teleport's down. They're like spreading around, getting control of the jungle. They have the Baron buff. You can't really fight this as NDG with a 14k gold deficit plus the Baron buff. You're basically fighting 18,000 gold worth of combat stats.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Not exactly the easiest thing to go against right there. Mid-tier 2 going to be relinquished there. Team Green Force just show up with a couple of guys, and NDG know they can't really stand for it. They will try to defend inhibitor turrets now, though. This is the test. Baron buff. Still a minute and a half to go. Solarflare is going to land on the Jinx. Here comes the dive. Good kick back by Infinity, but I think there's too many stats here. Green Force goes in, they pick up the Jinx kill. Nice 3-man Shockwave, but is it enough for NDG? Looks like no. Another kill comes through. TF with the double. 2-0, and now the inhibitor.
They're going to go ahead and pick up this inhibitor turret for themselves. DAT Control, he has some tanky stats in there. Just go ahead and swap himself out. Q landed onto Dawn. He's not going to take it.
12 seconds till any major respawns come back. No way you go for the 3v5 in this one. Team Green Force is going to back out.
Baron buffed up team alongside a Twisted Faith. Just lock in a yellow card and then you're done for. Hasn't had the Lich Bane just yet.
Yeah, the new build's been more like you get 20% CDR at the beginning.
Yeah.
I see Morello Namicon refuse almost every time.
And look at that, the Solar Flare onto V-Pancakes. He gets the Lantern out to the side, but the gold card and the just pure damage that NATO has built is more than enough for them to take him out. Look at that. Another, just a wild card after pick a card is crazy damage right there, without the Lich Bane.
Yeah, it's enough though. I mean, he's got a setup for the team in the first place. He's got Void Staff done now as well. And I mean, the thing is, TS ratios are decent.
Yeah.
The stacked deck, the E got a buff when the Lich Bane nerfs went through, so just building AP and just showing up is still very effective.
It's a very, very valuable build. We're seeing it come up big here. His turret pushing is still really good, even without it.
Yeah, blue card still hits turrets.
Yeah. And look at that, Scrying Orb onto Dawn. Scrying Lens. He's man after my heart.
Scrying Orb, so wonderful. Got one.
That's so that he doesn't have to face check anything, and just basically a tool to help them close out the game.
You know, I think I know why his team picked Leona. Radiant Dawn. Screen name of the AD carry, Radiant Dawn, the title of Leona.
Okay.
Yeah. Champion title pun.
And name pun.
Yeah, it's great. So much in there. At least a 2.
At least a 2?
It wasn't very good. Let's be real. But it was the best I got. There we go. Jump in. Saracen doing a pretty good amount of damage also. Yeah, taking some damage, but doesn't really care. He is Leona after all. But now the dive underneath the turret. This could be a good fight if they get enough CC through it. Get picked up on the Lee Sin so far. DAT Control forced away to the side. And there we go. Orianna finds one. The flash in by Shyvana locked up a bit by Thresh, though. The box is pretty big. 3 members dead, and now NATO goes in a little bit too aggressive. Kills picked back up. 4-2 battle. NDG trying to stay alive.
That's the best shockwave that Stefano's had all game long, which I think was really the turning point in that fight. In the fact that they were fighting under a turret as well, so it was really 6th man for NDG.
Yeah.
Came up big there, off of the back of Stefano, who was peeling the entire time, throwing down the ultimate. We're going to watch it here. V-Pancakes, he flashes, and the Solar Flare completely whiffs. And here we see Shockwave is going to land onto, I think, 2 members here. They get pushed back. They are just kiting, and it's a split call. There's nothing they can do about it.
At this point, they're separated, and it's like TF wants to help, be like, oh wait, they all died too fast.
It's too late. I thought we were getting turret.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Even with Jinx dead, the persistent damage there from Trundle Ori was enough to burn those things down.
Yeah, Trundle has a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he will leech your damage too with the chomp.
Yeah.
Give it to himself.
The fact that Shyvana's ahead isn't that hurtful for a Trundle.
No, it actually helps him.
A little bit.
The fact that she is so tanky makes him very tanky.
Another reason why Leona was picked. Sarah Sun.
Dang.
Too much synergy.
Sarah Sun and the Radiant Dawn on AD carry.
Yeah. You can't not pick that champion anymore. It's now actually required. You're disqualified if you pick another one. Not actually.
No. It's not a real rule.
I mean,
Making it up as you go along, freak.
yeah, it's true. All right, well, now the defense is going to continue there. Of course, Orianna, one of the best defenders in the game. 3-2-3, not a bad score, of course. Unfortunately for their Jinx player, Pancakes, he's been jumped on a heck of a lot.
Sarah's sun is just so bright, has a constant sun under her feet.
Yep. Ate a Flame Chomper, didn't want to let go.
Just consumed by the fire.
That's fine.
That should just be how Leona looks all the time. That looks awesome.
That's a little Garrett.
That is awesome.
I mean, yeah.
No, that is awesome. Get that to Iron Stylus now. Make it a thing.
All right. You know what?
Look at it.
You're right. You're right.
This is badass.
No, I agree with you. At least replace the W particle with it.
Yeah.
NATO, not quite ready for the gold card. Good trophy. Keep his team safe. Team still has their eyes on the prize.
They're setting up a bait here, though. Oh,
Nice bite.
Almost.
That's right. You do something to check the brush and immediately back off to get away from skill shots.
Yes. Because if it lands, you don't want to be even close. Because if your skill shot can land, so can theirs.
Yes, it can. Typically.
Typically, yeah.
Unless it's like a Draven ulti, then you can...
Oh lordy.
All right, well, Saracen's still winning off in the wings. Does get spotted. Infinity says, all right, but now there's no Lantern available. He does not have Flash, but it's a one-way trip. He goes for the steal on this one. There we go. The dive on in. Big damage comes through. One kill picked up already. He's going to be Shockwave back, but it's still a 2-for-0. Now K1 is going to go flash to the wall, but Orianna also falls 3-0.
There's just way too much damage from Team Green Forest. It's a bait into the Baron, and they don't even pick it up for themselves. They want to close the game out here. NATO picking up Infinity.
There we go.
Next
All
inhibitor.
5 are dead for about 25 seconds. Inhib going to be going down. Now, can they backdoor both Nexus turrets? They didn't have to if they could go for the top lane, but they will go for this one right now, closing out the game. Onto the Nexus. Damage going through to the guys tanking those turrets. NATO, he's one hit from dead. He's gone. All right, but the 4v0, time to reconnect. Don't worry about it. We've got ourselves the game in this one already. Nexus going to be going down. You know what? I think we saw the conclusion of the game anyway.
Boom, there it is.
There we go.
Whoop.
Conclusion of the game.